bakery's starting to make money, and we've just bought our first house. Let's not rock the boat." But in the late 20s, a childless woman was considered as odd as an unmarried man in his 30s. Geraldine saw how the ladies patted down their hair and ran their tongues over their teeth before speaking to Earle. Beautiful Earle. She knew he had other choices. So, grudgingly, she allowed herself to get pregnant. And in 1929, just before the country slid into a depression, Geraldine gave birth. Earle wanted to name their daughter Shirley Mae after his mother, but Geraldine insisted on Emilia, her grandmother's name. They compromised and called her Emilia Mae. During the first 2 months of her life, Emilia Mae howled in colicky pain for hours each day. Earle spent his time at the bakery, leaving Geraldine to wash, feed, diaper, and try to console the inconsolable baby. Geraldine tried everything: rocking chair, castor oil rubs, singing lullabies, but nothing quieted Emilia Mae. Sleep-deprived and desperate, Geraldine took the baby's screams as an affront. Often she'd run out the door as if her house were ablaze with her daughter's shrieks. No one had told her how a baby would claw at her, body and mind, how she would be lucky if she had time for a shower, much less to run a brush through her hair once or twice. Earle would come home from work by 6:30. He'd sit with Emilia Mae writhing in his arms and sing to her in his sweet, high-pitched voice. She was a chunky baby, with light strawberry hair and narrow chestnut eyes that defied you to look away from her. He'd kiss her ample tummy and nibble on her ears. He'd tell her what a precious girl she was, and how her tiny ears smelled like butter cookies straight from the oven. Because he loved her so much, he said, he would try not to eat them. Of course she smells like butter cookies fresh from the oven, Geraldine thought. I spent the last hour cleaning up Emilia Mae's vomit and bathing her. Earle can afford to be all goo-goo-eyed over this baby. If I saw Emilia Mae only 2 or 3 hours a day, slept 7 hours a night, and had normal days of talking with real people, I could be damned goo-goo-eyed as well. By June, whatever hormonal gumbo had kept Geraldine afloat had been sucked dry by the baby's constant wailing. Before Earle even took his jacket off at night, Geraldine would shove the baby at him and demand, "You take her, I've had enough." Emilia Mae was 2 months and 12 days old when Earle and Geraldine sat across from each other one Saturday morning. Earle had just looked in on Emilia Mae. She's sleeping like an angel. An angel? Pfft! Geraldine made a spitting noise. "Let me ask you a question," he said. One of the things that attracted Geraldine to Earle was his lack of guile. What he said was what he meant, and mostly what he meant was as uncomplicated and well-intentioned as a priest's sermon on Christmas Eve. So it never occurred to her that with this question, Earle was about to wheel in a heap of trouble that would sit between them for years. He put his elbows on the table and leaned toward her. "You do love this baby, don't you?" It was a rhetorical question, and Geraldine could have nodded or said and left it at that. But she'd been up half the night with Emilia Mae. Her hair was dirty, and her eyes were tiny as apple seeds. She wore her lavender robe, the one with calla lilies embroidered on it, the one that was so sexy and fluid against her skin that Earle hadn't been able to keep his hands off her whenever she wore it. Now it was stained with breast milk and crusts of spit-up, and Earle hadn't laid a finger on it or her since Geraldine's belly was big enough to bend the calla lilies out of shape. In short, Geraldine, who had enough guile for both of them, didn't bother to phrase her answer in order to please Earle. Instead, she spoke what she felt. "I would love this baby if she didn't make me feel like a monster, or if for one moment I felt she loved me back and didn't bawl her eyes out every time I came near her. If she let me sleep through the night, or gave me a moment to shower or fix my hair, that would be nice." Her voice was harsh as the sound of raked rocks. "I know she's your